Okay, PTR 9CT unboxing. Much like a Plano case, has the little push tab things, and apparently doesn't fold all the way open, but that's okay. We get two mags. Set those aside. Take the actual weapon out. We get a different end cap, so if we wanted to run a sling, we could. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you guys that this option is a lot cooler than the actual HK SP5k. And the sling on the SP5k was literally just a corded piece of bungee wire with one of these hooks on the end. So sling is already better. This option that they give you is already better, so you can run either a pistol brace or just a normal pistol stock. This looks identical, actually even better, to the MP5 tool, adjustment tool. The MP5 or SP5 didn't offer that. However, on the HK, when you needed it, though I don't know why you would have, because I never found a single flathead on it, you could actually pull this out and spin it around. It was a flathead as well. So they definitely copied HK on that. And quality control test, and by who? Barrel and bore, receiver, trunnion, bolt group, fit and finish, ammo, test fired, dry fire test, head spacing, which is really important on a roller delayed blowback, and apparently they cleaned it afterwards. We shall see. So, fling that out of the way on accident. Manual. Very World War II-esque. Yeah. Explains bolt gap measurement. I don't know why the end user would ever have to go into bolt gap measurement. Usually roller delayed blowback systems are kind of a not super easy to service. I don't know. Maybe you buy this as an enthusiast who is into roller delayed blowback guns. I myself am, otherwise I wouldn't have it. So this is kind of just a general comparison for me between the SP5k and this. Now if we take a look at these mags, the one thing that we're going to ask ourselves is, do standard HK mags fit? And they better, because I already have more than enough for my MP5. These are $76.99 a piece. Against my better judgment, I'm going to break into one. And other than the fact that the HK ones are actually longer, they look 100% identical. I'm not actually seeing any visual difference, and I may have been holding that stupid. These are actually the same length. I don't know how I did that. So, yeah, they are identical. The HK ones are made in Germany. Yeah, that's the only difference. The 9x19 down here is a little bit smaller in the engraving, and the made in Germany, which is really faint right there, doesn't exist on this one. But they are all pretty much the same mag. So that's good. I own 4 mags specifically for the PTR, which is always a good thing. And here is the weapon. the SB Tactical side folding brace. No comment. So very MP5 feeling gun the whole way around. Let's make sure that these HK mags actually lock in. There we go. Yeah. Worked just fine. Now that's something that the SP5k does not have, is a paddle release. And the reason for that is they had to follow a whole bunch of guidelines in the way of trigger housings. Because it's really easy to go on hkparts.net and buy a full auto trigger housing, and in theory, if one were so inclined, you could literally just take that housing and put it on here and it would be a full auto gun. You know, NFA rules apply and you're not going to be able to legally, and it's a mandatory minimum sentence of 10 years. Mandatory minimum sentence of 10 years. So if you enjoy rape, by all means, go ahead. Forward trunnion, the tree, the barrel lug looks identical. On this one, it actually looks like, yeah, up front, that's kind of nifty. They give you a 3-lug as well as a 1/2x28. So I can tell you just visually that this is stamped from an exact, well, MP5 flat. The barrels look the same, the gas tubes look the same, the charging handle feels exactly the same. Obviously the only thing that's really different is going to be the forend. This, which is a good added feature. The SP5 did not have the turret or drum style rear sights, so it's cool that they have those. However, on the SP5, you do have the option of taking off your top pick rail, and I wish that was the case with this because I don't really plan on running an optic on this. This is just going to be kind of a clone. So let me go grab one of my other trigger housings and we'll make this look like it's full auto. So really quickly to answer the question, yes, every HK part that you own will in fact fit. And to that note, I hope I didn't break this. To that note, make sure that every single HK part that you have could not be construed as constructive intent. Some things that wouldn't have worked on my SP5k and I had absolutely nothing to worry about owning kind of worked in here. They didn't actually work, but they were close enough that I decided to take them outside and use a chop saw on them. So they went bye-bye, unfortunately. So bit of a bummer. So I can't have an SEF trigger group on here, just simply for the fact that mine was a little too close to being, so I destroyed it. Just, you guys, you don't want to go down that road. Half the guys in Pierce and King County jails are people that I've probably put there myself. So going there would be a really, really, really bad place for me. That said, whatever. So another thing to note is handguards do in fact fit, so that's good. I took the stock off of my MP5 and measured it against this off camera. I wouldn't, of course, put the MP5 stock on here because that would be creating an SBR and that would be illegal. But I did take the two side by side and measure them with the guns in separate rooms, and yep, it's the same. Pretty much everything else is pretty damn close to the same. Now what's different? Well, this one is about $1,000 cheaper than the SP5, and if you could find one considerably cheaper than an actual MP5. So you're getting the same functionality in a more modernized, I don't know, key mod railed. I mean, it's an MP5 with a different name on it. When it really comes down to it, it's probably all the same roller. It's the same exact bolt design. It's the same exact bolt. They did switch between the SP5, the MP5, and this. So you're really getting an MP5 for, I think I paid $1,600 for this. So what you're getting is essentially an MP5 with a different name and about $1,000 less. So that's really cool. And it comes with an M-Lock forend, which doesn't really make a difference to me. I wouldn't ever run anything on the front anyways. I actually plan on changing this to an MP5 forend. So realistically, when all is said and done, this will have cost just as much as an MP5, and I wanted another one anyways, but I figured this would be a good reason to do this as a review. So you are saving $1,000 off of the cost of an MP5. The box looks identical, the mags are identical, the bolts are identical, the gas tubes are identical, the forends all fit, the mags are the same, the grips are exactly the same, the trigger packs are scarily similar across all variants, if you understand what I'm saying. So again, be careful what you actually own and get rid of it very quickly if you find out that you own something that you shouldn't. Overall, guys, it's every bit as good as an MP5. Now the question comes down to, is an MP5 worth $5,000 to you? Probably not, because you probably wouldn't be watching a clone video. Now, is an SP5k worth $2,600? In my opinion, no, it's not. Why? Because you can buy this for $1,600, and with this, you don't have a 5.5-inch barrel. So with the full grip on the front, my thumb overhangs by about my entire knuckle. So I have to be really careful on the SP5k not to curl my thumb in, otherwise I would blow the tip of my thumb off. So I have to get used to wrapping my hand around it or holding it down here. And it's honestly just too small for me to really care that much about anyways. And if I'm being completely brutally honest, if I wanted to go with a 9mm carbine or carbine pistol, I would go with an MPX. Simple as that. I love my MPX to death, but there's something really cool about stamped sheet metal guns, and the fact that this isn't the German variant, obviously made in America. However, I'm going to say like a good 90% of these parts, even down to the shell deflector, and possibly even the rivets, are going to be German manufactured parts, just not listed made in Germany. Or at least, very well copied. So with that said, you're getting an MP5 for $1,600 that you can't actually call an MP5. I'm gonna guess that it's every bit as reliable. And one way of checking that, it's really easy. And that's the other thing too, is it has a paddle, and I love that. Stupid SP5 does not. So you ride your bolt all the way back, and you just run it forward, and occasionally it'll hang up towards the end of it closing. I mean, it locked into battery, the rollers do their thing. And the main thing is making sure that where the flat, or the weldment as it's called, is pressed and then ultimately welded, you want to make sure that there's enough room for the bolt to glide freely through there, and it does. That's pretty much the main rule. If it does, you're going to have an MP5 that runs. And if it doesn't, you're doing something really wrong. So for whatever it's worth, guys, this is the PTR with the pistol brace and the sling and the part that the SP5k comes with that I hate, because who carries these on a sling? I would just take a Glock 17 with a 32 round mag, personally, But again, you guys, all my opinion, all my money. I own this. I'm allowed to say whatever I want about it. Ultimately, yeah, I think it's worth 1,600 bucks for sure. And I do not think that the SP5 is worth the $2,600 mark. I would say this is just as good, if not maybe even a little bit better, because it's got more modernized stuff on it and it's got the paddle. It's like the iconic thing of the MP5. The only other thing that's more iconic is that. So, seemed like a fitting time to get one. Now it's time to sit down and watch Die Hard. Sorry I'm not more enthusiastic about this. I am stoked to get this gun. It's just kind of hard to be super enthusiastic about it, just simply for the fact that I own the real thing, and it's just as good as the real thing. And I own smaller variants and larger variants, being the HK91, the HK93, and the G3. And they're all awesome. And I own set-me versions of those, and they all run exactly the same. They all share the same parts. This one I was not expecting to actually be able to take a MP5 trigger pack. An unmodified MP5 trigger pack. So you can go to hkparts.net and get what's called a pinned and welded grip. And it'll look like it actually has the forward pin through here. Through there. And this part will be sanded down. And the lip that catches the actual trigger pack on the inside will have a cutout. Apparently you don't need that with this gun. You're gonna draw unnecessary attention to yourself one way or another. Or if you're shooting where no one's around and you want to have that extra position to make it look like the authentic thing, all the more power to you. And to be honest with you, once this was off, if you were to put my MP5 stock on here and throw this to me, I wouldn't be able to tell you the difference blindfolded, at least. So, very, very similar, very identical as far as parts go. Overall, I say it's definitely worth the money. If you're into roller delayed blowback systems, I really, really am. I really enjoy them. I really enjoy shooting them. I enjoy building them. That's for another video, but they are fun. They are fun guns. But for 1,600 bucks, well, for $1,600, does it beat this? That's the ultimate question. So for $1,600, right around the same price point, does it beat this? The 6-hour MPX? No, it does not. My opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Nothing you can say will sway me. I definitely would much rather own this than own this, if it came down to it. Unless, of course, and there's one constraint on that, unless, of course, we went into, a civil war, or if we went into, I don't know, ultimate chaos, and I had this. And I say that because this could do something that this couldn't, and this could do that something really, really easily, provided I didn't just chop up the parts. So, that said, if you're looking for a pistol caliber carbine, I always say go with the MPX. And if you're going to spend the money on the MPX, just get a rattler. Be done with it. 9mm isn't that cool out of a carbine. Love you guys. See you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. I will see you in the next one.